So this week I'm back.
As you can see, the hopper is on.
So, score-wise, 84%.
It is a bit broken.
The digger bucket modification project is near enough done now.
Other company news, we have promoted somebody.
So this needs to be up and down within 48 hours.
And this is what we use as welding fabricators for our airfed.
So it's about finding the best route for the individuals.
So this week I'm back, and just to reiterate, Archie is not the boss. You might think he is. He's not the boss. Not while I'm still here anyway. Anyway, this week we've got a lot of different jobs going on. Hopefully this week we're going to start to put together the frame for the Manchester project. So that'll actually look quite impressive in the workshop. We've got 17 pallet conveyors that are just about finished being put together. We've got the eco hog in the yard. We've got stuff to go on the site banks. So yeah, we've got a pretty busy week and got some new people starting this week. Another thing we've got going on this week is we are doing a special video at the college this week. So we're just going to head off and have a look at that now.
That's it. Do you want to see the score?
Yes.
You do. So, score-wise, 84%.
Is that
That's
good? Or?
Pretty good. That's
Is it?
Pretty good, yeah.
I know a lot of people who came through a full-time course, joined at whichever level they'd finished at school, came and joined us, did a couple of years fully in the college and then went and got an apprenticeship. For some people, they're ready to go into an apprenticeship straight away, and I think it's really horses for courses, so it's about finding the best route for the individuals.
So here's one of the tube to plates that they do, and what they have is a hole in the centre there, bung there, and then they run that round and autogenously weld that.
So that was our trip to Northampton College, and that is an episode that hopefully you'll see. Probably going to do it as a midweek episode coming out on a Wednesday night maybe. Not yet decided, but by the time you've seen this, it'll either come out hopefully this Wednesday coming or a week on Wednesday. Just depends, because obviously we've got to now get that edited and get it back to the college for their approval, make sure they're happy with it. Quite an interesting process. You didn't see it on the camera, but there was quite a few people there behind the scenes, people from the marketing department of the college and different other people there as well. So, as I said earlier on, this is a collaboration between us and the college, and we're quite pleased with how it's turned out this morning. Hopefully we've got some good footage, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when we're done. I think Adam can breathe a sigh of relief. Now, you found that quite stressful, Adam, didn't you?
Not at all. I'm too blessed to be stressed, Gav.
Too blessed to be stressed. Now, there's a phrase. So, let's see how good Adam is at editing and making us all look good on camera.
Hello, my lovely people. It's been crossing my mind for a while now, but I do want to ask everybody a little something before we continue the video. I would like to know who regularly watches our videos on the YouTube channel. So, out of curiosity, if you are a regular watcher, could you please leave a thumbs up in the comments, and I look forward to seeing them all. But yeah, anyway, I won't stop you for any longer. Continue watching and enjoying the rest of the video.
Hi guys, it's Rob, welcome back. So today, this is what I believe is the final walkway. With this one, I can only make the framework for it because there are some adjustments need making for some control panels that are going in. So what I'm doing, I've marked up the lines on here, ready for where the cross braces are to give it a bit of support, to support the walkway. And what I'll do next is grind the paint off, get all my bars set, and then I'll go along and weld everything. And then until I've got the updated drawings about everything, I can't do much more to this, so hopefully they come soon and I can finish it. I've got the frame for Walkway D done, minus kick plates because it's having some alterations. So it's currently sat over there on top of the Walkway steels, ready to be worked on. It's out the way, and it's easy to get back up on the trestles. So what I've moved on to is a ladder. Connor was making one last week, but we've had to take it apart because some of the measurements weren't right. We've changed it a little bit. The treads were a bit too close together. So on my one, there's less treads, bigger gaps, so you can easily move your feet. So what I've got done now is it's tacked together, it's square, and what I'll do next is probably I'll release the clamps, make sure it stays square, then I can weld it and then try and put the cage on it.
Dan and George have been assembling the handrails for Walkway C. So Rob has completed this first thing this morning. He was sort of sorted D out a second ago. So yeah, Walkway C handrails are on. So this isn't the finished product, so look a little bit floppy now. By the time we get the corner handrail attached, it will be solid. So yeah, nice work, lads.
Behind me, I have a lovely ladder with a cage on it, which is almost complete. I've just got to tidy. I've been welding it this morning. I've just got to tidy up the cage at the top, and on the bottom here, we've engineered a little bracket so when it sits down on the walkway, the bolt will go straight through and stop it from kicking in basically when you stand on it, because there's already a mounting plate at the top, so there's nothing at the bottom. So just something to stop it swinging. And then yeah, Steve's working on the other one, so that'll be done soon. And that's it. This ladder is now done. Steve's finishing off the other one. What the next job will be is we're putting the framework together, test it all fits, and then what we're doing is taking it all back down, then it can go to paint, I think.
Okay, so in the last few weeks, we've been putting together these big beams that we've been doing for the big frame for the Manchester project, where we've got all the legs, we've got all the beams and everything done now. So the lads have cleared out the workshop, this end, and we're now going to start the assembly, the dry fit of all the big frame. So we've got a DJI on with some time-lapse footage, and we're going to film the assembly process. The lads are going to be working out what's the best way to put this together on site. So some of it might get put up, put back down, but I think we've got the procedure right. So this is all, it's actually going to fill this area here. We're going to get the walkways on, the handrails and everything, so it'll be fully built up in here. I've said to Archie, because this is valuable fabrication space that we're actually losing to do this, so this needs to be up and down within 48 hours. So that's Archie's challenge. Let's see how he gets on.
So I'm in the bottom end of the main workshop now, and the lads behind me, so Rob, Steve and Stuart, are getting the frame together. So it's coming together very nicely. This is all of the lower section in place, all of the cross beams in, as you can see. So far everything has fitted up perfectly, so all the plates line up nicely. They are currently getting these tall beams on. and then these connect up for the other large cross beams that go across there, and then there's more framework that will fill in this gap here.
Welcome back, and as you can see behind me, we've been busy, almost put together. We're doing this as a mock setup so we can get all the walkway set up. So all that's left to do now is get this back walkway on, get the tread plates in, get the stairs on, get the ladders in, make sure it all fits, next one will be welded, taken back down, painted, ready to go to site.
Archie,
Yes, Adam.
48 hours
Yeah.
Gavin challenged you to.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's going okay. We've had some additional stuff. So deadline-wise, it's going to be lunchtime today, in which their deadline will be up. So it won't be done for them. That's a guaranteed. But I've had more stuff added. So because of that, I think Gav should allow us more time for this within our challenge. So we'll let you guys in the comments decide. Do you think Gav should allow us more time for the additional stuff? Manchester Walkway, so the framework and walkway is being assembled now. I think you've seen clips of that. Rob is making some more extension platforms, so these will go on the side of the current platforms just for the control panel and some of the fire suppression system. Steve is making one of the frames for the vibrator feeder, so that is going to sit on top of the frame just across some of the RSJ. That is what one of our conveyors is going to feed into, I do believe. From there, that is going to go on to further parts of the system. So yeah, we've got Andy and Stuart down here putting the footplate into the walkways. So once the footplate is into the walkways, we're then putting the handrails on around it, obviously, so that it's secure enough to walk around. But yeah, it's getting there. We're great, we're getting there. And it looks like there's a bit of a platform now. So nice work to all involved.
Company update. Adam's asked me to update on some things that have been going on within the business. So we have had Andy and Stuart join us this Monday. They have been on a trial day last week, which I think you know about. Fitted in really well with the team on their trial day, so we were really happy to offer them jobs, permanent jobs. So they started and appeared to be doing really well. So that's good news. We have George with us, who's on work experience during the school holidays, and he has secured himself an apprenticeship which starts as soon as he finishes GCSEs in the summer. So you'll get to see him a little bit more. I think you've met him already on the channel. Adam's nodding, so that's a yes. Other company news, we have promoted somebody. So it's really exciting to be able to do that within the business. We hired Lauren Carswell last year, and she worked for Gavin and I in marketing and sales, and she just bosses it. She just bosses everything that she does. She's really good. And we had a bit of a sticky point with one of our service engineer contracts at the end of last year, and we asked Lauren, because her superpower is being able to coordinate things and get stuff done really effortlessly. So she pulled that round for us and made sure that the contract was secure and organised and meticulous. So we have just gone through a bit of a restructuring at the end of last month, beginning of this month really, and with that restructuring we've been able to promote Lauren to operations manager. Now if you follow the channel, we are not a company that has managers for the sake of it, so we have got Gavin and myself at the helm of the business as the directors, and no other managers in the business until now. So really well deserved promotion for Lauren, and we'll try and get her on camera at some point soon, and once she's sort of settled into the role, she can tell you all about what she looks after in operations. But yeah, we're thrilled for her, and yeah, congratulate her. So any congratulations in the comments would be appreciated, because I know her and her sons do watch the videos, and you'll often see them commenting on them as well. So that's really good. Final piece of up-to-date news with people is that we have just had an offer accepted from Georgina, who is joining my sales team in May. So she's going to be sales exec for us, and we're really excited about her starting. She's got a brilliant background. She's not unfamiliar with engineering at all, so that's going to go really well with what we want. So yeah, Georgina starts next month. There is a lot of women in the business now, which I know is probably a bit of a shock to some, but we're all for it. Bring it on. So yeah, that's my update. Enjoy.
Another company update, we now have lights in the new stores room, what's going to be the new stores room. So it's been a little bit of a dumping place for the time being between getting the lights. So there's bits of the 17 conveyors, there's bits of the Skip Company conveyor conversion job in here. So now this is all sorted. Within the next few weeks, we shall be getting the racking and benches, whichever we require. We'll be mainly racking and some benches put in place in here. We'll have proper allocated areas. Yeah, I really look forward to showing you guys everything about this. So this is really going to transform what we do. Yeah.
Right, so today we're going to use that 3D printer from last week or the week before and put it to good use. So we've got a bit of a poison chalice here. We've got an old motor and an old cap for the motor. This is the fan that goes on the end of the shaft here. Now, we could not supply this from anywhere. We tried all our motor suppliers and all the gearbox suppliers we have, and we could not find one. So what we're going to do, we're going to put that 3D printer to use, like I say, and we're going to make one and see what happens. So we're back in the office. I've had a look at it. I've took some measurements. It is a bit broken. So I've had to take a little bit of creative liberties with this and the motor outside and the housing and everything just to make sure it will still work. Pretty confident it'll work. So what I'm going to do now is go onto SolidWorks, draw it up, and hopefully we have a product at the end that looks similar to this and can do the same thing that this original one was doing. So I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So there you have it. I've drew the part and now we're going to try and convert it into the 3D software and see if we can 3D print it. So there we have it. We've come off the 3D printer. Compared to the old one, like I said, I had to take some creative liberties to create what it was meant to look like, but we've got there. We've got a whole new piece. Each layer had been 3D printed, so you can see, get a bit closer, you can see each layer as it works up. So it's not the most seamless thing in the world, but the quality of what comes off, I am thoroughly impressed with. I cannot see that breaking, even if I wanted to. Even these fins, I think, as it goes, I think this is just better than moulded plastic. But it gives us freedom here to create bits like this and then give ourselves a creative and almost edge up on everybody else. So hopefully, 3D printer's starting to pay its own way. So, with a bit of help from Arch, we've got it back on there now. And now because it's a bit thicker and a bit durable, I can't see that breaking at all. I think it's on there for good. We made a nice snug fit so it weren't going to just slide off. The fact it's got a keyway inside it as well, it's going to start spinning. So I think all in all, job well done.
So this next clip is something that myself and Adam did just earlier in the day. So it's just information about what we use here as welder fabricators at Spitfire Engineering. So this will be on other social medias, Instagram, TikTok. So make sure you go and have a look at those pages. Great content for you, hopefully. Hi, I'm Archie. I am the welding fabrication team leader at Spitfire Engineering, and these are some of the tools that we use as fabricators here. So starting off with some of the most important, we've got overalls. So these are all flame retardant overalls that we use, obviously for the sparks and the heat that's involved. So this is my 3M Speedglass G501 air-fed welding helmet. So this has got a multi-lens welding lens on it, so I can see it in different shades. Flip-up grinding visor, so I can do a lot of grinding in it. You can see here at the back, it's got the little hose attachment. This is what connects to this hose here, like so, just clip on and clip off very fast. And this is what we use as welder fabricators for our air-fed. So because of the fumes that come off when welding, the inside of our welding air-fed helmets, respirator parts, end up looking like this. So all of this dirt and dust, this gets caught before it reaches our lungs and prevents us from breathing all of this in. So welding can be carcinogenic, so can cause cancer. This is one step that we use to prevent that. So we've got this alongside welding extractors when we're doing heavy welding, as well as good ventilation within the workshop. So this is a last resort. PPE is always the last resort for health and safety. So this is very crucial to what we do. It makes the whole experience a lot nicer welding. You can weld a lot better with it normally because you're not having to deal with the fumes. So yeah, make sure we change these about. Next up with direct PPE, welding gloves. We like to use TIG gloves here for the most part. So if we ever go high heat, we use the big thick MIG gloves, but for the dexterity of everything we do, the TIG gloves are a lot more useful. Grinding visor, if we ever need to do a fair bit of grinding that's in a slightly awkward space, the air-fed doesn't always allow it. So we use the grinding visor in conjunction with some ear defenders. So I prefer over the ear as opposed to earplugs. I just think they work better. So these are also essential. I always wear safety glasses, so these are prescription safety glasses. I wear them on a day-to-day basis as much as I can, sort of, you don't even notice them half the time. Next up, angle grinder. Going alongside that, we have an angle grinder key, so I try and keep one on me all times, so if I ever need to take a wheel off, I can do. Again, very useful tool for cleaning, prepping, and then making sure the parts are okay afterwards. Measuring, we've got a tape measure, so for 9/10 of our measuring, we've got a tape measure that does most of the work. We have bigger, shorter, steel rules occasionally. Squares, so I've got two types here. I've got a normal engineer's square and a fireball tool square. So this is very cool. We can clamp alongside stuff to make sure that everything stays solid while we're welding. So these are the two most common squares that I use. Anti-spatter, and then also similar to anti-spatter, chisel. So I use this just to get rid of any bits of spatter nearby. This prevents it, but anything that does happen, I use this just to get rid of everything else. Sometimes you need a hammer to just knock the end of the chisel just to make sure that, because when the metal's on there a bit tighter. This is also useful for centre punching or anything like that. Soft blow hammer, so this is copper and rawhide. This is used up when we're hammering material, so direct on metal. It's a lot quieter and softer, so you won't see the dent marks with the rawhide, and normally you don't see them in the copper as well. This is due to this being softer material than our steel. MIG pliers, so these are very useful. I try and keep these in my pocket all the time. They've got cutters, adjusters for the welding tips, little hammer, file on the end to clean the end of the welding torch, so very useful tool. And then two more slightly more unique ones. I've got a little pocket pry bar, very, very useful. Use it as a screwdriver if ever need to, and then just moving small parts about, and tweezers, because in a metal fabrication workshop we get a lot of metal splinters. So tweezers are very handy to have in my pocket whenever I need to just take one out quick. I'm currently sat on the bucket conversion job, so this is the one that you've seen. The pins have already been done by Colin. I'm now on the cutting edge section of it, so I need to, I've already started just to get my settings okay, cut this cutting edge off, get all of this removed, weld the new weld on cutting edge on once I've prepped everything ready for it. So yeah, we'll get a bit of a time lapse of me cutting this off. Might have a little bit of showing George, our new apprentice who's going to be starting in the summer. Might show him a little bit on this bucket. So you see the two of us sort of working together, showing him how to use the gas axe. And then yeah. Say I've been too busy doing other bits and bobs today, so we've got Connor on this, get it done. The customer wants this for later in the week, so the plan is to get this done today and tomorrow morning, and it can get painted. It's going all black, so yeah, it's going to look brand new hopefully. The digger bucket modification project is near enough done now, so Stuart's done a cracking job of painting this. So it's gone black as the customer requested. We've got the 90mm pins at the top, brand new weld-on cutting edge at the front. So yeah, nice work to all involved. Jamie and Stuart are doing the assembly for the 17 pallet conveyor job. It's going quite well, to be fair. I'm loving the galvanised steel look. So as soon as these are all done, we'll get them palleted up, sent off, and the customer will be receiving them. So we're not doing any electrics on this. We're testing all the rollers by hand, make sure there's no catching on any guards. Yeah, we'll try and get some clips from the customer of them working. That tool that I showed you guys in the last episode, Jamie is using that to put the chain joiner in. So say hello, Jamie.
Hello.
Jamie's on camera. So yeah, just once all the rollers are in, just go off and loosen the bolts again on the chain side, just so that the rollers can find their centre. Once the chain has been tightened as much as it needs to, the joiner will just slip in perfectly. And then we'll put just a little, what's it called? Just a little clip, isn't it? Really, just a little clip on the other side to make sure that the joiner stays on there, really. Yeah, we'll do this for the whole length, connect it up to the drive shaft. The drive shaft is when it starts getting stiff when we turn it. Once we're happy with how they move and they're not catching a bottom guard, we'll then put this top guard on to cover it over, double check everything else. Yeah, that's about it, really. D&J shredder, as you can see, the hopper is on. So we've red oxided everything for the hopper. The big flywheel has arrived for the shaft to power the shredder itself. So we need to fit that, fit the taper lock bush. We need to sort out one last thing with the conveyor, fit the hydraulics, and then we're about there.
They are impressed, which is good. They've got a pretty unique application and they saw us at the show at the NEC and we just followed up on that as a normal sales routine. So we arranged for them to come down. They've come about an hour and a half away to see it, but very interested. They're going to go away and do some sums. They've got a couple of different options, not machines, but they've got a different option as to whether to sub out the work or do it themselves. And if they do the work, which is filling something, I can't say more than that, but filling something with cement or mortar, then they would look to have something like this, something like our Mortar Master. So yeah, it went really well. Nice people, nice to spend some time with people, showing them our equipment and then giving them a bit of a tour of the workshop. So yeah, all good. Keep you posted.
Hello, it's me again. Site banks, all 5 are now done as much as we can for phase 2. So we've let the office know they are organising the cement, the concrete to be put inside. So as soon as we hear back from them, we will get on it.
Okay, so this week's fun fact, British engineering fun fact, is one that I can vaguely remember actually happening and taking place. London Eye in London, who can remember when that was put up? So it's 135 metres tall, 2,100 tonnes of steel, and at the time was the biggest observation wheel in the world, which I find quite surprising because, don't get me wrong, it's a big old bit of kit, but I didn't think it was that big. Anyway, does anybody know how they actually installed it and put it in place? Because if you've ever been to London, it's quite a built-up area around there. I'm going to tell
us.
I'll tell you. Bear with. I'll tell all. So what they did is they brought it together on the Thames, because if anybody knows, this is actually right next door to the Thames. They brought it together in sections and assembled the wheel on the Thames flat on barges. And then what they did, they used hydraulic strand jacks and actually winched it up into position. They had like 2 pivot points at the bottom and brought it all up into position. Now at the time, and for bonus points, here's a question for you. For bonus points, does anybody know who the company was that originally had their name on the side of it and actually built it?
Yeah.
So if you know who that is, put it in the comments below. But they did have trouble getting it up, so to speak. So for extra bonus points, put in the comments below who the original company was that built this. But apparently there was a British engineering company called Hollandia that was heavily involved in this, that Adam's found out the fun fact on that. Could you get a more British sounding name than Hollandia? Seriously. So yeah, there you go. This week's fun fact. London Eye, 1989? 99. And it was a 9. So yeah, 1999 that was built. So what's that? It's just over 25 years, isn't it? 26 years?
I thought it was well older.
So yeah, it's not as far back as you go. So yeah, there you go. Fun fact this week. So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment, all the usual things. Now next week we need to get that frame down so we can start some new projects. So come back next week and see what we're going to start on next.
Jamie here. Say hello, Jamie.
Hello. Hello.
Jamie said hello. What the heck? What? Jamie's on camera.
You video that, aren't you?
So children, did we all like the day at the zoo? Don't tell me to shut up.
Tell me when, boss. Tell me when, boss.
Ready, boss.
Ready, boss.